Have you ever wondered if there is a sound powerful enough to sweep away every worry, or a place quiet enough for you to hear even the whispers of your own soul? Tonight, I will take you far away from the bright but weary city lights, far from the incessant ringing of phone bells, to reach a small wooden house perched precariously amidst the great wilderness, a place where a distant waterfall murmurs a symphony of sacrifice. Perhaps this is the moment you need to let go of the world out there in exchange for the deepest, most peaceful sleep you have ever known. Before we step through the door of the wooden house together, I want to share that I have poured my heart into every word and refined every tiny sound, from the crackling of firewood to the rhythmic flow of the waterfall, with the sole wish of creating a true spiritual oasis for you, so that this healing content can continue its journey. If you feel comforted, please like this video or subscribe to the channel right now. That is an invaluable encouragement and lets me know I am not alone on this path of bringing peace to everyone. Begin by finding a truly comfortable position. You are in a warm private space where no one can disturb you. There are no deadlines to meet, and no worries are large enough to cross this threshold. Lie down and feel the solid support of the bed beneath you. Slowly pull up the warm blanket, letting it embrace your body like a safe cocoon. If you feel the surrounding light still lingering, gently close your eyelids. Right now, the darkness is not nothingness, but a soft velvet curtain cradling your tired eye. Now, I want you to pay attention to your breath. Do not try to control it. Just let it be as natural as the breath of the night forest. Inhale deeply. Feel the cool, fresh air entering, carrying the stillness of the mountains. Exhale very slowly, letting all the pressures of the day melt away into the void. Inhale serenity. Exhale fatigue. Let us begin the journey of relaxation from the furthest points of your body. Focus your attention on your feet. These feet have carried you through so many miles, standing firm against so many storms. Silently say to them, "Thank you, you can rest now." Feel your toes gradually relaxing. Warmth is spreading from the soles of your feet, creeping through your ankles, your calves, and up to your knees. Can you feel your legs becoming heavier, a truly pleasant heaviness, as if they are sinking deep into the plush mattress, becoming motionless and utterly at ease? Continue to bring your focus to your hips and the entire length of your spine. Feel each vertebra loosening. Imagine the pressure on your back like grains of sand slowly falling away, leaving behind a strange lightness. Your lower back, which is often tense, is now smoothing out, accepting the care of the bed. You are being completely supported, no longer needing to strain to hold on to anything. Now, relax your shoulders. This is where we often store the invisible burdens of responsibility and worry. Let your shoulders drop naturally. Feel the relaxation flowing down your arms, through your elbows, to your wrists and palms. Your 10 fingers are gently curling, no longer holding, no longer operating on a keyboard or a screen. They are resting, completely limp. You are gradually detaching from the connections of the digital world to reconnect with your own body. Draw your attention to the neck and the nape. Every muscle is softening, and finally relax your face. This is where every emotion of the day is expressed. Smooth out your forehead, letting the wrinkles of contemplation vanish. Relax your eyebrows. Let your eyes rest deep within their sockets. Relax your jaw, letting the corners of your mouth ease into a subtle, peaceful smile. Your entire face is now as serene as a glass-like lake on a windless night. You feel your body becoming very heavy, yet your mind is becoming incredibly light and clear. The noise of the city has receded far, far away, leaving only rhythmic breathing and an all-encompassing silence. You are ready to open the door to the world of the wooden house by the waterfall, where a story of letting go awaits to be told. In this state of deep relaxation, you will realize that sometimes doing nothing at all, holding on to nothing at all, is the greatest happiness. Keep breathing steadily like that, deep and slow, deep and slow. You are drifting closer to the edge of sleep, where all conflicts dissolve, and only a wonderful harmony with nature remains. Let me lead you further, deep into the forest, where the memory waterfall is calling you back to yourself. As your body has become heavy and your consciousness begins to float like a cloud drifting through the sky, I invite you to step through the door of reality with me to enter a completely different space. Imagine you are standing on a rustic wooden doorstep. The gentle creak of the old oak under your feet does not startle you. On the contrary, it brings a sense of sturdiness, strangely familiar. You are standing on the balcony of a small wooden house, perched precariously yet peacefully on a high hillside, where the great wilderness wind is now only soft touches upon your skin, cool and pure. Before you is a vast valley sinking into the breath of the night. White, soft mists, like celestial silks, are drifting idly, covering the old pine canopies. The mist is so thick that sometimes you feel you could touch its smoothness. Far off, on the opposite mountain, the waterfall appears, under the silver moon of the full night. The waterfall is no longer a violent torrent. It looks like a shimmering silver thread sewn into the black velvet of the forest. The sound of water echoing from the distant cliffs, passing through the woods, through the valleys, reaches your ears as only a murmuring sound, steady and rhythmic like the heartbeat of the earth. Take a deep breath. Can you smell the scent of this place? It is the scent of dew-drenched pine, a pungent yet elegant fragrance that soothes every strained nerve. It is the scent of damp earth after a sunny day, and the faint fragrance of wild forest flowers blooming late in the night. Every breath you take now carries the life of the wilderness, washing away the dust of the city, the soot of worries that has been clinging to your mind for so long. Now, turn away from the elegant chill of the mountain ride to step inside the house. Just as you cross the threshold, a wave of gentle warmth immediately envelops you. In the corner of the room, the fireplace made of river stones radiates an enchanting orange-gold light. The wood crackles, crackle, crackle. Occasionally, there is a small, pleasant pop, tossing tiny sparks into the air like little stars before they go out. The firelight dances on the wooden walls, creating slow, relaxed shadows. You approach an old armchair. The leather is worn by time, but remains incredibly soft. Beside the chair is a small wooden table where a cup of cinnamon tea still releases a thin veil of steam. The rich, warm scent of cinnamon blends with the oak wood to create an atmosphere thick with peace. You slowly sit down, feeling your body sink deep into the soft cushioning. From this spot, through the large glass window, you can still see the silver thread waterfall outside, but now you view it through a lens of absolute warmth and safety. In this room, every object possesses a soul of stillness. There is the old violin lying quietly in its velvet-lined wooden case in the corner, appearing as though it too is slumbering after years of echoing glorious melodies. There are the leather-bound books arranged neatly on the shelf, carrying the wisdom of contemplation. There is no ticking of the clock, for here time is not measured in seconds or minutes, but by the flow of the waterfall and the slow fading of the embers in the hearth. You feel like a child returning to the arms of Mother Nature. All your senses are now focused on the tiniest vibrations. The wind whistling through the wooden door gaps like a gentle flute, the soft turning of a book page from someone sitting opposite you, and the sound of your own breath becoming deeper, slower. You begin to realize that the silence here is not empty. It is a silence filled with the sounds of primal life, sounds that do not demand an answer, nor require you to process them. Let yourself melt into this space. Feel the warmth from the fireplace warming your feet, your hands, and gradually soaking into your chest. Wherever that warmth goes, the knots of anxiety in your heart are untied. You feel so peaceful that you can hear even the dew falling on the leaves. You are no longer a stranger visiting. You are a part of this wooden house, a part of the hillside and the waterfall beyond. In that space, you suddenly notice two familiar figures sitting together. An elderly man with a serene aura like an old pine tree, and a young girl who is gradually putting down her glowing phone to look out into the vast darkness. They are Mr. Minh and Anne, who once will lead you deeper into the lesson of sacrifice and letting go. But for now, do not rush. Just enjoy the cradling of this wooden room a little longer. Let the warmth and sound of the distant waterfall soften the sharp edges within your soul. You are here, you are safe, you are protected, and you are preparing to sink into a story that will help you find yourself again amidst the unending murmur of the great forest waterfall. In that space, warm with the scent of cinnamon tea and the crackling of firewood, it seems all the haste of the world outside will stop at the threshold. You see yourself sitting there, quiet as an old lion beside Mr. Minh, and opposite is Anne, the young girl, carrying the hurried, anxious breath of the city into the heart of the silent wilderness, and remains there, her long, slender fingers flickering across the phone screen. The blue light from the electronic device casts a weary look upon her youthful face, contrasting sharply with the warm golden firelight from the hearth. Since arriving at this wooden house, Anne seems to have never truly been present for a single moment. She carries with her unanswered emails, unfinished plans, and a life full of pressure. Occasionally, she looks up, gazes at the white waterfall out there, and lightly frowns. The sound of the waterfall echoes from afar, a deep and continuous sound that seems to clash against her fragile patience. Grandpa, Anne speaks up, her voice high and somewhat out of place amidst the mountain silence. How can you live here for 20 years without going mad? That waterfall, it just murmurs incessantly, like a monotonous noise that makes it impossible for me to focus on work. In the city, everything is convenient and vibrant. If you sell this house and return to the streets with your reputation as a conductor, people would praise you again. You would have everything, instead of burying your life in this terrifying silence. Mr. Minh does not answer immediately. He slowly lifts the cup of cinnamon tea, letting the thin smoke drift lazily past his eyes, etched with the deep crow's feet of time. He looks at his granddaughter. His gaze is tolerant, as if he were seeing himself from 40 years ago, a person who also once worshipped high notes, thunderous applause, and the glamour of the world's most brilliant stages. He smiled, a smile as light as a petal falling onto a lake's surface, and his voice lowered, raspy yet warm, like aged wood under the evening sun. To achieve the stillness you call terrifying, I had to make the greatest trade of my life, the penetrated the keenest ears of a conductor, ears that could detect a single off-key note amidst an orchestra of hundreds, with the ability to listen to my own heart. Surprised, Anne's hands glowing through her phone suddenly froze. She looked up at her grandfather, her eyes filled with questioning. Mr. Minh continued, his voice now carrying the very breath of the great forest, slow and deep. The world out there, you see, is like a chaotic piece of music with no end. People scramble for high notes to assert themselves. They inadvertently trample on the low notes to move forward. Long ago, when I stood on a podium, I heard it all. The soaring violins, the powerful brass, and especially the applause resounding like tidal waves. But do you know, amidst those myriad sounds, I was completely deaf to my own breath. I heard the whole world, but I did not hear my soul as it grew exhausted. Mr. Minh stood up gently, his slow footsteps on the wooden floor, emitting a rhythmic creak, creak. He walked toward the window, pointing toward the silver thread waterfall shimmering under the moonlight. Do you see that waterfall? It flows ceaselessly from the high mountain peak down to the deep abyss. From afar, it looks fierce, it looks loud, but in reality, it is the most peaceful thing on this earth. Why? Because it is simply itself. It needs no audience, no praise, and it does not care if someone calls it monotonous. It flows because that is its nature, its very life. Mr. Min's voice suddenly became earnest, as if he were pouring each word into Anne's closed heart. The greatest lesson this wooden house has taught me over these 20 years is this: happiness is not when you try to accumulate as much as possible, possess as much as possible, or be known by the whole world. True happiness is when you know how many things you can let go of and still feel your soul is full. I let go of the stage lights, let go of the cheers, let go of even the extreme sensitivity of my ears, to trade them for a single noise of nature, and it was that very noise that healed me. Anne fell silent. The phone in her hand slowly lowered, the blue light fading out, leaving the room entirely in the embrace of the gentle orange firelight. She looked at her grandfather's thin, frail hands, then out at the distant waterfall. For the first time in many years, she truly listened, not listening to analyze, not listening to work, but listening with her entire presence. The murmur of the waterfall, rumble, rumble. It was no longer background noise. It was like a warm, deep drumbeat, protective and forgiving, and suddenly realized she had long been like a weary musician, straining to play a piece beyond her strength on a stage far too crowded. She had been too preoccupied chasing the illusory sounds of notifications, social media, and distant goals that she forgot how to listen to her own breath, the most primitive, most honest sound of life. The stillness of the great forest began to seep into every one of her cells. The resistance in Anne's heart melted away like ice meeting warm sunlight. She softly closed her laptop, hearing a gentle click like a declaration of the end of all worries. Grandfather and granddaughter sat in silence together. No more words were needed, for the silence at this moment said everything. You see, in her room, the warmth from the fireplace continued to radiate, enveloping two souls finding their resonance. The waterfall echoing from afar now sounded lighter, lighter. It was like an invisible hand stroking the wrinkles of anxiety on Anne's forehead, and perhaps stroking her mind as well. The sound of the water was no longer noise, but a lullaby, a promise that no matter how the world outside turns, here, in this very moment, you are allowed to stop, you are allowed to be at peace, and felt her heart become weightless, a gentle feeling she had not possessed for a very long time. She leaned her head against the old wooden chair, feeling the warmth of the cinnamon tea still lingering in the air. She closed her eyes, letting the sound of the waterfall lead her into a distant realm of memory, where there was no veil, no pressure, only the steady breath of the mountains and forests. All conflict had vanished, giving way to an absolute harmony. In that wooden house on the hillside, between the crackling fire and the murmuring falls, a deep sleep began to bloom in the young soul, and perhaps was also slowly spreading to you right now, in the moment. Anne closed the laptop. A dry sound echoed and then died away, returning the room to the wholeness of darkness and firelight. It was not just the act of closing a device, but the moment she decided to close out all the noise, the struggles, and the soaring high notes of her life's symphony out there, and leaned her head against the back of the wooden chair, feeling its sturdy yet reliable support cradling her neck and head. She let out a long breath, very slowly, as if shedding all the heavy weights of life that had pressed upon her chest for so long. And right now, I want you to do the same. Feel the pillow beneath your head as Anne's comfortable wooden chair. Feel the safe support you have. You and Anne, you are no longer two strangers. You are sitting with her by the fireplace, in a wooden house smelling of pine resin, amidst the magical night of the great forest. The sound of the waterfall from the opposite mountain still echoes. Rumble, rumble. But listen closely. It has changed, hasn't it? It is no longer the roar of a massive body of water. It has become a soft silk of sound entwining your mind. It is the lullaby of Mother Nature, a sound with no beginning and no end. It is so steady that it makes time seem to melt away. Each rumble is like a gentle wave, washing over your feet, washing over your hands, and then washing over the final remaining thoughts. Now you are feeling just like Anne, a strange weightlessness. You find you no longer need to try to understand, no longer need to try to hear. All effort becomes redundant. You only need to be present, only need to drift with the rhythm of a silver thread out there. The firelight from the fireplace in your mind is fading, fading, leaving only the glowing red embers, warm and still. That warmth slowly radiates from the wooden room, soaking into your skin, soothing every cell. You feel yourself dissolving. The boundary between the wooden room and the world outside is blurring. The boundary between this story and your reality is also gone. You no longer hear my storytelling with ears, but you are sensing it with your entire soul. The murmur of the waterfall, rumble, rumble. The breath now merges with the breath of the old forest. Each time you inhale, you carry the stillness of the misty valley. Each time you exhale, you let go of a piece of busyness. You are fading away, like a leaf slowly falling into the stream at the foot of the falls. That leaf needs no rowing, no direction. It simply lets the water carry it, peaceful, gentle. The wood crackles, growing smaller. Wind through the door gap, growing thinner. Only that distant waterfall remains. It is like a gentle hand stroking your forehead. Notice your eyelids. They are becoming incredibly heavy. You no longer want to open your eyes. You only want to submerge forever in this cozy cocoon of self. And is asleep now. She sleeps with a serene smile on her lips, her phone long forgotten on the wooden table. And so are you. You are preparing to step through the door of the deepest sleep. No noise can reach you now. No worry can disturb you. There is only the cradling. There is only the protection. Everything is blurry, fading, dissolving into the gentle darkness, dissolving into the flowing water. You are drifting, drifting into the space of healing dreams. You feel so light, so full, so peaceful. Just let yourself dissolve like that into the great forest, into the stillness of tonight, the sound of the waterfall growing lighter, lighter. You are sleeping. You are sleeping so well. All conflicts have completely vanished. Only absolute serenity envelops you from the top of your head to the soles of your feet. Just drift, drift, drift. Now, the space around you holds only absolute silence. Every image of the wooden house, the flickering fire, the cinnamon tea, or the silver thread waterfall has gradually merged together, dissolving into a soft mist covering the mind. You no longer have to listen, no longer have to think, no longer have to be anyone. You are just a weightless presence, drifting in the ocean of peace. The distant waterfall is no longer a material sound. It has become the slow heartbeat of the universe, cradling you into sleep. Rumble, rumble, the sound of water is like the breath of the mountains and forests, steady and forgiving. Let each rhythm of sound wash away final fragments of consciousness. You are letting go completely, letting go of every prejudice, letting go of every craving, letting go of self that has been weary from carrying the world. Feel the peace soaking deep into every fiber of muscle, every blood vessel. Peace, peace. That peace grows heavier, embracing you, pulling you deep down, deep into the nameless space where only pure rest exists. You feel so safe. You are protected by the gentle darkness of the great forest, enveloped by the stillness of the wooden house on the hillside. I will leave the space to you, so the sound of the waterfall can continue to cradle you throughout the long night. This story was written from the deepest understanding and sharing for the weary souls out there. If you wake up tomorrow morning feeling your heart lighter, feeling tonight's sleep was truly full, please come back here and give me a like or a small comment. Each of your interactions is the motivation for me to continue creating and tending to our next dreams. Sleep well. Please sleep well. Everything is finished. Today has closed behind you, and tomorrow is still very far ahead. Right now, only sleep is the only thing that exists. A deep, dreamless sleep. Sleep that heals every silent wound in your heart. The waterfall still flows like an eternal promise. Peace, letting go. Yes, sleep well. You are fading into the arms of stillness. Each of your breaths has now become one with the rhythm of the night forest. Slower, slower, dissolving. You are sleeping very deeply, very deeply. Nothing can reach you at this moment except absolute serenity. The sound of water grows smaller, more distant. Only a tiny vibration in the mind remains. The darkness is so soft. The sleep is so deep. Peace in every breath. Peace in every heartbeat. You are sleeping. Sleeping so well. Sleeping so deeply. Just drift in this stillness. You have returned home. The home of peace within your own soul. The waterfall still murmurs like a lullaby that never ends. Sleep well, sleep well, sleep well.